welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your September 2016 general monthly forecast. If you'd like a private reading with me, just go to www.carolsuniverse.co.uk. So, your reading for September, Virgo, is a really interesting one. When I saw the cards, I thought, what the hell is going on here with this? There's several stories, I feel, and I always, now with the readings, I don't just kind of focus on the one story because I can see several things running through. So we're going to try and keep this succinct, as I always say, and then end up at 50 minutes. But I'm seriously going to try and end up at like 20 minutes or so on the reading, but try and be as thorough and as comprehensive as I possibly can be, and as I always am. Your general energy is the Two of Cups, Virgo, and also the Page of Pentacles. Right, so this can mean an attractive offer. So Page of Pentacles can also be an offer card, and the Two of Cups can be that there is an attraction. So it can be an attractive offer comes your way. It can also be where there is, you need to make sure that you, or an agreement over, because Two of Cups can be an agreement. It's a pledge card. Or an agreement to start something new, Page of Pentacles. Usually to do with finances though, so maybe a startup business. I feel that the month of September, the general energy is going to be about working in something new, potentially for some of you guys. It could be a new relationship that comes around for some of you Virgos, and it can also be the prospect of a new business endeavour, I feel, happening for you guys. But boy, it's really weird because it's like what you have to do to get there is kind of like a bit weird. But it's only like in the first card. It's just showing a really interesting story for the month. Your advice card is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is where we work with others to achieve a goal. It's a card about trying to accomplish a certain goal through gaining the skills and the advice from others in order to kind of make a dream come true, to accomplish something within our world. So for some of you guys, it will be the advice is, seek out advice if you're not sure on something that is new and enticing and attractive that comes your way. But it can also be where there will be new things opening up to you in the month of September 2016, and it does indeed kind of involve others. I feel for some of you guys, all right, let's start with this scenario. I feel for some of you guys, Virgo, that some of you might have been found out on something. Does that sound weird to you? Because it can be a new relationship, the Two of Cups, that has potential as your advice card. All right? And for some of you guys, it might be a relationship where you're starting out, or you're starting something, some sort of a long-term relationship. Because remember, the Pentacles represent long-term situations, all right? Because the Pentacles represent the outcome of our endeavours. So when you get a Page of Pentacles, it's something that starts up with the idea or the intention that it's going to be long-term. So it's something that evolves. It's something that actually we do right in the here and now. So this can be a startup business with that Page of Pentacles, but the intention will be to take it long-term. It's not something you want to do, for a month and leave it. You want it to be long. So you can see this is why the Page of Pentacles looks at the potential for growth with that Pentacle. He's looking how far it can go. What can he do with it? What does he need to do to grow this thing from one pentacle into many? And it's interesting. The reason why I said that, I feel that some of you guys, you might have found something out about a partner, or a partner might have found something out about you, because we've got the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is one of those very intricate cards because, this is very ambiguous. As I always say with the tarot, you can never just rely on the tarot to tell you one story. It cannot. It really can't. Dependent on where your cards are, dependent on what other cards are around it, a good card can turn bad. So you could have something like a Six of Cups that looks very lovely. It's children exchanging gifts. It's one older children being supportive to the other child. But you can get something like a Six of Cups, maybe with even a Five of Swords. And to me, it can be that something with the Six of Cups sparks jealousy with the Five of Swords. Not that it changes the influence of the Six of Cups, but I have seen this Six of Cups turn around and be a card that means somebody is being dishonest and somebody is trying to seduce another individual by dangling a carrot, all right? I have seen a card like the Six of Pentacles, which is meant to be about give and take, all right? Giving and receiving. Turn out to be a man who's a player, all right? This is what I say with the tarot. I'm probably a year from now, I'm going to look to write a book on the tarot, because seriously, unless you know what you're doing with tarot, don't mess with it, because it can mean all sorts of things. I just feel that this Five of Swords usually means conflict, and it usually means that you overpower your opponent or your opponent overpowers you. So it can mean that you feel victorious, or it can mean that you feel powerless. So dependent where you are in this card, these two people here in the background are feeling powerless and this person's victorious. But why is that? We do see that this person has a smug look on his face, but we don't really know the reason why he's looking so smug. What bothers me most of all, though, and what is so bloody interesting, is... which card shall I show you next? It's so interesting. We'll show you the Tower. The Tower sits directly underneath that Five of Swords. If you look at these two people on the Five of Swords, they are retreating. They have lost the battle and they're walking away and they're really, really upset that they've lost this battle. But look what happens to these people afterwards. They're being thrown out of the Tower. Can you see? Two people retreating on this card, and directly underneath is the Tower, where the same two, I'm sure it's the same two people here, are being thrown out of that Tower. So it's almost like somebody has got the better of these two people. But these two people, I feel, are a couple. All right, and I feel that they are being thrown out. All right, and it could be that something has been found out. So it could be that you're with somebody else and your partner finds out about you. This could be the partner here with the sword, who finally finds out about you and your amour, or the person that you've been seeing in the months of September. And you're being thrown out. You're being discarded. The truth comes to light, and you're being thrown out with the Revelation card of the Tower. The only reason I say this also is because we have the Ace of Swords directly next door to that Five of Swords. And that means it's another truth card. When you get swords, they're about the truth. So they're about getting to the heart of a matter. When you get the Ace of Swords, it's about a victory. So overcoming a struggle, but it's also about I tell the truth. So when you get an Ace of Swords, it can be the potential for communication to open up. It can be the potential of a new, fresh idea, just to sort of hit you in an epiphany moment. This can also represent death, where we're severing ties with certain people or certain things. But it's interesting how we have the Five of Swords and then the Ace of Swords, which to me says that there is a resolution on this situation. Somebody feels victorious here. They've finally achieved the truth. And it's the person here that has won. Because we see victory in two cards, Five of Swords and the Ace of Swords. And this results in the Tower, directly underneath, which suggests to me that the two people here on this Five of Swords, who are retreating, are now being thrown out because the truth has come to light. Therefore, there has to be severance now. There is a sacrifice that needs to be made, because the Ace of Swords can often represent sacrifices. So the fact that this person here has won the battle against these two, now a sacrifice must be made. Now it's time to cleanse and replenish. And that comes in the sacrifice of these two people being thrown out, so that new things can be built up again. All right? It almost feels like in the month of September, Virgo, that something needs to be gotten rid of. And it's a couple of people here. So this is why I said the first scenario I felt, because we have the Two of Cups, which is usually in its everyday language a romantic card. It's about a pledge, two people who want to be together, two people who are feeling mutual attraction, but they're showing each other that they're attracted. Okay, and it has the potential to start something quite new and quite beneficial, because it's Pentacles, and when you look at Pentacles, it's about what value we see in what we have. So this thing has the potential to go the distance with the Page of Pentacles, because he's looking at the value of this thing starting up, okay? And also we're seeing here two people seeking advice from an individual, okay? So it could have been for some of you guys a long-standing relationship. Either you've been found out or you've found somebody out, potentially, in the month of September, and maybe they're going off together to, you know, and you know, the Three of Pentacles, when you look at this card, if this is a couple that are seeking advice on, for example, getting a flat or moving in together, then what happens there is they must have been together for some time. You wouldn't just have an affair with someone for a month and then go and get a flat with them or an apartment. It would have to have been for a period of time. So I feel for some of you guys, you might have found out about an affair. Maybe your partner's gone off with that person, or maybe you've gone off with the person that you've been seeing. But something I feel is being found out. And with the Sun card, it seems to bring a sense of after the Tower. It seems to, whenever you get the Sun showing after any disruptive card, like the Tower, it says, you know, there is now renewed optimism. There is now a place now where we can go to where things are going to be turning for the better. We're getting over the troubles. So whatever is being discarded here within the Tower, and the Tower is all about cleansing. So sometimes, yes, these are violent eruptions that happen within our life, Virgo. Sometimes, yes, these are things that we don't expect. And sometimes with the Tower, they are things that we actually do expect. It's just that something needs to happen in order to move something along. And with this Tower falling here and the Sun afterwards, for me, this suggests, yes, there is a difficult situation. Somebody's going to be thrown out. There needs to be a re-cleansing of the earth now. It's like it's like the Judgment Day, if that makes any sense, where the old must fall in order to bring the new in. And the new in is for either you. I feel that it's for you, though. I feel that maybe you guys have found out something about a partner and you've disbanded with that partner, okay? But I feel that it's a positive move, because the Sun card says, you know what, everything's going to be all right. Things are now eventually looking up. You're overcoming all the struggles and all the darkness that maybe you've been through to enter into a happier, more fortunate, more optimistic phase within your life, Virgo. So I do feel that there is a sense of having to abandon or make sacrifices. So potentially I feel that this is actually you guys on this Five of Swords card. And you're the one that's getting rid, maybe, of a partner who's been less than honest. And unfortunately, you know, that Two of Cups and Page of Pentacles can suggest, if that's the case, that maybe there is a relationship that was in your life that is starting up, okay, with somebody or something else. All right, because sometimes these cards can work really funny, and the advice and the general energy might not always be strictly pertaining to you. It can be the people around you, funnily enough. But because it just looks like you found out the truth about something. We got True Truth Tower cards, Ace of Swords, the Tower. All right, and one card that shows winning a victory, winning a battle. Winning a battle, Five of Swords, because you found clarity with the Ace of Swords. Therefore, there needs to be a cleansing with the Tower that brings on a positive change with the Sun. All right, so these will be sacrifices that will need to be made for some of you guys in terms of relationships, especially if your partner's been unfaithful and you find out. The other cards that are showing, and I only sort of mentioned 4 of those so far, because what we're seeing here is the King of Pentacles next. And that's you guys, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Usually I would see the King of Pentacles as representing a Capricorn or a Taurus. No, is it Virgo, Taurus? I think it's Virgo, Taurus. Because I think, no, Queen of Pentacles I think is a Virgo. And King of Pentacles would be Taurus or Capricorn. Could be the other way around, sorry, I always get that mixed up. But anyway, if for the purpose of a general reading, we know that King of Pentacles is you, Virgo, okay, Earth. But what you're looking towards is the Knight of Wands. When you get a Knight of Wands, when you get any Knight, it signifies changes in one's life. So Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords means sudden or quick changes that happen. Knight of Wands can also mean move, because it's ruled by Sagittarius, which rules the house of long distance travel. So you might be looking at long distance travel, or perhaps to get away from something here in the month of September 2016. Because the High Priestess is directly above you, along with the Magician. Now this is a very interesting pair, very strong pair. You've got some very strong major arcanas in the month of September 2016, Virgo. Because the High Priestess is inner and the Magician is usually outer. But the Magician shows what he does. So he shows... it's really weird because I wanted to say the word show and tell. But I can't because the High Priestess does not show. This is the thing. The High Priestess is a very strong, inwardly strong character. So she's often the type of lady who will sit and just absorb everything, and she will work with those energies from an inside perspective. But she's not showy like an Empress. An Empress is actually her sister in the tarot. The High Priestess and the Magician could often be seen as a pairing, but I don't see how these two compare. I would actually find it to be more appropriate to look at the High Priestess as the pairing for the Hierophant. But the High Priestess, in terms of the Magician, for me, they're kind of two opposite forces that work really, really well together. Because the High Priestess is all about inward knowing. Sometimes it's about secrets being revealed. But I feel within this reading, it's more about what you know inside to be true and to be right and to be fair for you. You are looking to kind of expand on with the Magician card. So the Magician card represents manifestation. It represents working with our thoughts, ideas, also communication in order to manifest a new reality for ourselves. And I feel that for some of you guys, you are washing away something here in the month of September, and it's paving the way for something new for you. The High Priestess can also be where we sit and we kind of fantasize and we think and we really go inward to find out exactly what it is that we want, because it's a new number 2 card. So number 2s, a lot of the time, they do mean balance or trying to balance something out. They can also mean to wait, patience, and they also mean to seek clarity. And often the High Priestess shows up when somebody is trying to seek some clarity. So they don't do anything. It's a passive card for me. But there is strength in her passivity, because she doesn't need to say anything or do anything. She just needs to feel it and know it. But to feel it and know it, she needs to clarify it. And she clarifies it in her own sweet time. So I feel that after this storm that we can see, especially with that 5 of Swords and the Tower energy, and to a certain extent with the Ace of Swords, we are seeing the sun showing up here. And the sun says to me, all this cleansing, washing away of whatever it is that was probably quite a negative energy, Virgo, what you're finding is the sun, a new sense of optimism, a new sense of confidence, a new sense of happiness within yourself. But I feel that what happens here in September, you take a bit of time out to think and to just kind of get in touch with yourself again with the High Priestess, maybe to get in touch with your dreams, to get in touch with your goals, but not to say anything, not to do anything, but to just really understand what it is and how you want to move forward. And I feel that this situation, and it's funny how we have the Magician first and then the High Priestess. If we were to look at how the major arcana runs, you've got the Magician, High Priestess, and then the Emperor and blah, 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 blah. But the Emperor always comes before the High Priestess. He's number 1 and she's number 2. So the number 1 cards are usually the startup. Magician usually starts his journey by visualizing what it is that he wants. Okay, so he is ruled by, I think it's Mercury, the planet of agile thinking. So he does a lot of kind of, he has big ideas, big ideas, does the Magician. But he's also about the intention to manifest and to bring into your reality something that you want. So it's as you speak, so it shall be. So this is why we have the as above, so below. Okay, so as you think, so you manifest on earth. So you think universal thinking, universal ideas, putting our ideas out there into the universe, and we manifest them here on earth. So we manifest them here into our reality, as above, so below for me. So this is the card that shows up before the High Priestess. And, you look at certain cards in the tarot, and some of them are so stronger than others, seriously. The Magician, some of them, their energies are subtle, even the major arcanas. Things like the Emperor, maybe. If it doesn't represent a father figure or an establishment, if the Emperor is you, then it's a very subtle build-up to things. Okay, Empress we can look at as being a card that suggests I'm working on my own self-development, my own beauty, I'm doing my hair, I'm doing my makeup, I'm building a business, I'm building, comfort for myself, I'm building security for myself, I'm just making my life really, really secure. The Magician is probably one of the strongest major arcana cards you can get, because as you speak, so you manifest. As you think, so you manifest. So what you think about, you bring about with the Magician card. And it shows after the High Priestess. But in the Tarot, this is number 1 and she's number 2. So for me, that is, as he thinks, he's thinking about all the tools and everything that he has here. Everything that he has. That will give him the ability to manifest what he wants. But the High Priestess afterwards says, I'm going to think about the process that I need to go through to do this. And then the Empress says, okay, I've thought about the process with the High Priestess card, and now I'm going to start delivering on this. I'm going to start literally working on it. Putting all those ideas into action. But what we're seeing here is somebody who's thinking first and looking at the process first before she starts to manifest. So it's almost like you are thinking about where to go next with the High Priestess card, Virgo. You're not just thinking about the process, but you're thinking about what is of value to me at the moment. What is it that I most want at the moment? And what are the things that I want at the moment? So it's almost like you are trying to put into some sort of order, or visually look at, okay, after all of this, what is the best thing for me to do? Because the High Priestess, as I said, is a card about knowing. And she knows what's right for her. But she's also a card about inner wisdom and trusting in our intuition. Okay? But I feel that because she comes before this Magician, it is the case of, for some of you guys, after all of this, whatever this thing is that's happened with this Five of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Tower, we know that it's a really good thing afterwards. We know that this has not all been in vain because you have the Sun card. But it leads on to a time of inner reflection. It leads with the High Priestess. It leads on to a time of getting your house in order with that card before you start to put some big plans into action with the Magician card. And I feel that one of your big plans is going to be to travel, perhaps, move in another direction, because we do have that Knight of Wands card. It can also be that you're looking, for some of you guys, it could be that you are, because you're the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles for me often represents a very confident, self-assured individual. They know who they are, they know where they stand, but they also know the value of things and the value of life. So the King of Pentacles is the type of guy that likes to eat good food. He likes to be around beautiful women. He likes to be around people who have worth, or he considers to be worthy. He likes a good cigar. Okay, but then he's kind of meant to be quite healthy as well, really. But he likes a nice home. He likes a warm, cosy home, inviting home. You can see that he's completely covered in gold. And also he's got some bull motive at the top here, which represents Taurus. And that can represent wealth, okay? So that's a symbol of his wealth. And it's also a symbol of his drive as an individual. He's very driven. And I feel that you become very driven, but I feel that you almost take a moment out just to consider. Now, for some of you guys, if this is a partnership that has the potential for growth, or a partnership or an agreement on a startup business with that Page of Pentacles. So if this is a new team that you're looking to work with, or a new partnership, because we can see that something has dissolved. The reading starts with something dissolving for you Virgos. Something has ended for sure, because we've got Tower here. And the two people that are backing off here are the two people being thrown out of the Tower here. Now, for some of you guys, if this isn't a love thing, because it ends in the same way anyway, so it doesn't really matter whether it's love or whether it's business, or what, you know, if it's related to work, Virgo. I feel that what we're seeing here is you've gotten rid of someone. Maybe someone who was bugging you. Okay? Because you have suddenly been struck by the idea that something is not worth it. And you've won. You've won. Because we've got an Ace of Swords here. An Ace of Swords is victory after a very strong battle. Alright? But it can also be the beginning of a struggle as well. If it's the beginning of a struggle after you've won the battle, after you've won the fight, then the High Priestess kind of puts that into a far more calmer mode, if that makes any sense, because you don't go with the struggle. You actually sit with the High Priestess mentality and say, okay, what's next? I feel that some of you guys have either left a job, maybe you told someone about their business as you left, who knows? But you know, I mean, it just looks like something ended here for you guys, because we've got that Five of Swords there and the Tower directly underneath it. All right. If I'd had the Tower before this, before the Five of Swords, like on top of the Five of Swords, I'd be a bit worried, because the Tower is a violent eruption. It can be a fight. And with that Five of Swords, it looks like that person comes back for more, to finish the job. So not only the people being thrown out, he's going to basically take everything they've got at the same time. But it looks like it's done and dusted with the Tower underneath this Five of Swords. There's a battle, you've won, and the people are thrown out. The Ace of Swords says finally victory has been achieved. So here we go, battle, Five of Swords. Two people, or how many people it was, I don't know, in your life, but people have been defeated here. They seem to have been thrown out with the Tower energy, because maybe some truth has come to light here with the Ace of Swords. Therefore, everything ends positively, and you can now put your struggles in the past. But I feel for some of you guys, whatever this is, and I do feel it was a real struggle with something, or, you know, a group of people or whatever it was, that it probably tired you out and you're looking for a new adventure, which is why you've taken time out to think with the High Priestess. When that time is done, you start manifesting with the Magician card, because you're the King of Pentacles and you know your own self-worth. You're completely self-aware about what you are worth. And you'll probably know that you were worth something to where you were, but it wasn't that you didn't do your job. If this is a work-related reading, Virgo, I feel that it wasn't that you weren't capable of doing your job. I feel it was more than likely going to be the people or the circumstances that you were working with. Because as a King of Pentacles, what we're seeing is somebody who is highly confident, and they know what they are worth. They know their own sense of value. Okay, so they expect nothing but the best. And therefore, you might be looking at a move with the King of Wands, Knight of Wands, sorry. And this is why we have the Two of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. So perhaps there is, either you're looking to form an agreement or sign something pertaining to the startup of a new business. And this is where the advice is for the Three of Pentacles. Some of you guys will be gaining maybe some legal advice or something like that over a new agreement, over a new business. It could be that you're working with others as well, because the Three of Pentacles means groups. So some of you guys are actually working with other people, all right, on probably a new business idea going forward. Now, the High Priestess and the Magician can also be people that you're working with, okay? So the High Priestess could be behind the scenes, and the Magician can be the person that makes things happen. Also, the King of Pentacles. So I see potentially for some of you guys, you're working with three people. Potentially, we've got a fire sign here. We have an air sign here with the Magician. And the High Priestess can represent Scorpio or, I believe, Pisces energy. So we're looking at probably a water sign, fire sign and an air sign, and you make earth. So you're working with all of the elements here. That's incredible. That really is incredible. You're working with all of the elements. And this is why we get the sun after that Tower, because it's saying it doesn't matter what has ended for you, Virgo. It really doesn't, because what you're going into is far more powerful. Even if you can't see it right now, what you are entering into is a far more powerful time. I do feel that there are, you know, I've explained it in a couple of ways, but I do feel, looking at this reading, that there could be three people here that you're working alongside. Okay? High Priestess, water energy. Magician, air. So this person, I feel the High Priestess probably does all the back work. Okay, so she'd be the type of person who would, you know, sort the, you know, the bureaucracy, the paperwork, the red tape out. She's very quiet, likes to get on with things, likes to just kind of deal with stuff that you probably don't have time to deal with. The Magician I would see as being the brains of the outfit, comes up with all the amazing ideas, makes the connections, does a lot of communicating because he's a communicator, also the Magician is. The Knight of Wands might do a lot of the legwork, so he might do a lot of the work in terms of expanding the business internationally wise. And potentially for some of you guys, you're the money man, because the King of Pentacles can be a financial investor. It just looks like you've put something to bed here, Virgo. It really does. It's an incredible reading. But I do feel there's a new partnership happening here between you and maybe 3 others, 2 to 3 others. Okay, it's really weird when I look at the cards. I can almost see the character of those 3 people and what their functions are within the business if this is a business reading as opposed to a love reading. Maybe after love, maybe you worked with a partner and that partner betrayed you and you've gone on and formed other partnerships with other people in terms of ideas and business and that type of thing. But I am seeing something new starting up here. Very, very interesting for the month of September 2016. Let's get a look at your angel reading, Virgo. Angels, can you give the Virgos, please? Oh, just flipped out. Choose a new direction has just flipped out for you guys here. Let's see what the booklet says. There we go. The time has come to choose a new direction in your life. The circumstances that you find yourself living in may seem unfulfilling, or perhaps your heart is full of discontent. You know that there is something more out in the world for you, and you've been procrastinating following the guidance of your angels. Make a conscious choice to be the person you are meant to be. Create an action plan for yourself that leads you in the direction of your divine life purpose. Begin taking steps immediately toward a happy future. That's really, really, that card for me is really kind of in sync with what we've been talking about today. Indeed, the High Priestess, if it's not a person, could be the procrastinator because she's the person. And I often don't see her as I see her as a procrastinator in terms of for the greater good. So it's not a negative procrastination. It's more because she's so wise. So in her wisdom, she's more cautious than anything else. So it's not like she lives in absolute fear. I don't see the High Priestess as a card about fear. I see the High Priestess as a card about being intelligent, about how you move forward with something. So you take a step back and kind of just, okay, let me just take some time out and think about this because I want to make sure that I make the right decision for me. And it might have knock-on effect on other people. So she's really quite a wise character, and that's why she just sits quietly and she allows herself just to absorb everything and just to work with everything internally until she's ready to kind of go full steam ahead with the Magician card. But if that's not the case, I feel that these are other people that you're working with, and I feel that there is going to be an agreement because we've got the Two of Cups as your general energy. So the Two of Cups doesn't just mean romance, and it could be romance, yes, romantic situations around you, but the Two of Cups is often the card of the negotiation, the pledge, signing something, a contract between people. That's why they're clinking glasses. And the Page of Pentacles can be the startup in terms of finance. It can be a message of finances, can also represent a contract. It can represent the startup of a new business because this is a startup. It can represent financial frugality. It can represent having to be responsible with finances, okay? But I do feel that there is something of an agreement here around the startup, maybe of a business with that Page of Pentacles. All right, or a partnership that has the long-term potential for growth with that Page of Pentacles. But your advice card for the month is either seeking more advice, Three of Pentacles, or it's just that you're going to be working in a new team and building something that is worthwhile and of value and quite, it's going to be quite optimistic for you. You're going to be moving forward, I feel, and making your dreams come true through that Three of Pentacles by working with people in the know. It definitely has a group consensus about that card, moving forward with you guys, okay? But I also feel that there's great developments in terms of business and developing an idea for you guys in the month of September 2016, but it's after some nasty little energy has ended, and it needed to end, because the Sun card says after that tower everything is replenished for you, and it's going to be moving in a really, really positive direction. All right, that's your reading, Virgo, for the month of September 2016. I would like to say thank you so much for using Carol's Universe, and I will see you guys. I'm probably going to be coming up with an expanded Celtic Cross reading. Not sure how I'm going to kind of figure out that reading, but yeah, something like that's going to be coming up soon. Don't forget to check out your 5-month life spread reading. That's also on the channel as well. But I'll speak to you guys soon, and take care.